horrible what they're going to do here.
That we didn't have a choice. We're told that it's a done deal. Now they're going to rip up our beach. They're going to put cables. They're going to affect the livelihoods of all the fishermen, all the people. They're going to wreck everyday people's lives.
The sign here is indicative of the whales and other marine life that have lost their lives or have been injured or harmed by the seismic surveys and the loud noises from monopiling, the big turbine foundations in our oceans. It's a really sad state of affairs. We believe that certain people in the political scene or our leadership have caused all this destruction and devastation. And certainly we have about 9,000 fishermen, some commercial, some recreational, and they are just devastated. They're losing their livelihoods. They have large boats. They don't know what to do with them. You can't sell them. The fish are basically disappearing. It's really unfortunate.
And we're here today in Portsmouth to raise awareness to what's going to happen when the cable gets run down the Sakonnet River and under the beach that we're at right now, and then overland and then through Mount Hope Bay up to Brayton Point.
Because the same thing that is happening here is planned for Westport, which is the onshoring of high voltage cabling. Vineyard Wind Northeast Project wants to bring their cabling through Horseneck Beach and the length over the Westport River and the length of our town. So I'm here in complete support with Portsmouth people trying to keep the South Coast cabling from coming onto their beach here and then up through Portsmouth over the bay and up to Brayton Point.
The business is, it's going to go all the way up through there. It's going to cut through our ponds, swamps. We have a lot of wildlife that depends on having some property and some land. It's also going to go over the golf course, and it's going to cross over and go through Common Fence Point. It's not just a Portsmouth issue. This is a Rhode Island issue. This is a Northeast issue.
It's just going to ruin everything. There's nothing positive about this. The neighborhood and the little children here that enjoy the beaches and everything about the beaches, eventually they're going to be destroyed, and they're never going to grow up to see what a beautiful shoreline we have right here in Portsmouth.
It's going to ruin everything. It needs to stop.
The fish are disappearing.
I want my beach. I don't want to see dead whales. I don't want to see dead dolphins. I don't want fiberglass on the beach when someone's walking their dog or their children's playing and they're getting fiberglass in their hands because all the wind turbines are breaking.
Really sad that our Portsmouth Town Council, we have 7 members of the council, all but one agreed to an agreement with South Coast Wind Energy. It really saddens me. They should have been stronger and morally stood up, because they all know deep down inside they don't agree with this either, but they took the money, and that's a sad state of affairs. What are we teaching our younger children? Should not ever accept bribes. I call it a bribe. That's my personal opinion.
I just don't want that. And what I really wanted was, I wanted the choice and I wanted the right to vote. And that in itself was number one, which we never was given that choice. So great job, Portsmouth Town Council. I hope people make the choice and vote everyone off that told us we have no rights.
I just think it's horrible what they're going to do here. This is a pristine river that we live on. It's, done wonders for this area, recreation, fishing, shellfish. But many years ago, there's a deep, dirty secret going on that used to go on over at Brayton Point, where they want to hook up to. And for years, all that area in the upper Mount Hope Bay and stuff was totally contaminated. The water was brown like root beer and stuff. I grew up here, we always had boats and stuff, so I know what it was like. And it would bubble up and it looked just like root beer. It was so contaminated. And after years and years, they have, cleaned up the area and everything else, but all that sediment that's in the seabed is still there. It doesn't go away. It lives there forever and ever. If you leave it there, it would be fine. But if you start dredging it up, now you're going to bring up all these toxic legacy sediments that have been there that are very carcinogenic in nature. And so they keep saying, oh no, they haven't done any testing. They did one test, I believe, and that was it, and they don't want to talk about it. But I do have a report that shows what was found in there, and it was all kinds of things like zinc and copper and lead and you name it, it's in there. So that's one of the problems, because when they start tearing up to put the cable in, they're going to disperse all that stuff back into the water. This river has never been industrialized and should not be. It's a pristine river, and they want to come up the shore here in this quaint little town and start hammering and banging and butchering the place in order to install these cables, and then to go back out over into Brayton Point and dig up all that mess. It's just not good for the area. It's not good for the residents, the property values, and I just believe it's wrong for the return. It's just not. It just doesn't make any sense, to be honest.
I'm asked to come to this rally. It's a peaceful rally in beautiful Island Park at Portsmouth, where I am a town councilor currently in this town and seeking re-election. My connection here to the cable is that I was the one vote that voted against having a cable come down this river. And most of the time I'm quoted as saying the biggest reason is because this is a SA1 body of water, that being one of the cleanest bodies of water in the state of Rhode Island. And it goes well beyond that. My concerns are about the effects on marine life here. A lot of variables that we don't really have the answers to. We would have to go through a process here of jet plowing to install this cable. We have no idea what the material is on the bottom of this Sakana River. As far as I know, I'm not sure that they've ever tested it, or if there are test results that have not been revealed to the public. At this location, this would be where the 375,000 volt DC cables would leave the ocean, go underneath Park Avenue, and head up Boyd's Lane towards Montauk Country Club to get to the other side. Just an unbelievable process to be able to have to transport electricity in this method, and having been a power plant engineer, it just doesn't make sense that we're even doing this. I'm not against renewable energy. I have solar panels on my own house. We have a wind turbine that's spinning here in the background. Well, it's not spinning today, it's so calm. But that wind turbine can at least be accessed by a machine, a crane, when they break, because they will break. They are machines. The big issue in Portsmouth is, again, the cable. There are impacts on Middletown, Tiverton, and Little Compton as well, that may or may not have been explored properly. So I'm joining this group here just to make people aware that it is an issue. Hopefully it can still go away, but it's pretty much a long shot. Perhaps a change in the person running this country will have a different philosophy, because no matter how you look at it, we're always going to have fossil fuels. And I say that because wind turbines don't spin but 40% of the time maximum, and there's always a backup. So you're still going to spend fossil fuels to come to this goal, or a target of whatever it may be, 30% renewables by 2050 or 50% by 2030. I'm not really sure, but that's just a target that somebody has picked out of the air, and that's, if we achieve that, it really doesn't cut down our CO2 emissions.
Part is, we're just one step on the road to this wind turbines just ruining most of the East Coast. I mean, from Maine to New Jersey, it's all over. It needs to stop. They need to do more studies. There's got to be another way.
Trying to bring their cabling through small rural communities. And so they do the backroom deals with the representatives from those communities. And the residents don't find out about it until it's already done.
Stop this insanity. Ruin Onshore.
Thank you.
God, no one knows what this is going to do to the environment. No one knows. There's been no tests done. So how could you even say that this is okay?
Diagnosed 10 years ago with stage 4 breast cancer. It metastasized to my brain, and now I don't see, like all of us, I don't see a super long life, but I want my views on the ocean to be clear. I deserve that. I've fought for it. I just want to settle very peacefully with no turbines in my face.